Buenos días, queridos alumnos de Cela Spanish School Online. Welcome to a new video class. In today's class, we will learn about irregular verbs in the present subjunctive. In the previous video, we explained the conjugation of regular verbs. This video is also available completely in Spanish. However, as we are explaining grammar issues, it is also very helpful to have explanations in English, so we are sure that everything has been understood. This video is part of the material of our online course, El Subjuntivo Paso a Paso. Comencemos. Verbs that are irregular in the present tense in the indicative mood will also be irregular in the present of the subjunctive mood. However, there are some details that we will examine more closely. Let's mention only the most common verbs in daily communication. When talking about endings, letters, and sounds in Spanish, I will use the pronunciation of Spanish and not of English. You are all intermediate students of Spanish, so you will have no problem with this. The verbs ser, estar, ir, haber, and saber are irregular. Ser is irregular because it retains the e of the ending er in the root. So it is sea and not sa. We have sea, seas, sea, seamos, seáis, sean. Estar is irregular because of the pronunciation. The intonation is in the last syllable, and that is why some persons in the verbal conjugation have a tilde. Esté, estés, esté, estemos, estéis, estén. Ir in the present subjunctive conjugate vaya, vayas, vaya, vayamos, vayáis, vayan. Haber conjugate haya, hayas, haya, hayamos, hayáis, hayan. Saber, sepa, sepas, sepa, sepamos, sepáis, sepan. Irregular verbs are those that come out of the conjugation pattern of regular verbs. If we want to know why a verb is irregular in a certain tense, we will conjugate it as if it were regular, and we will pay attention to the differences. Doing this analysis is more useful than learning irregular verbs by heart. The verb haber will be used in the composed tenses of the subjunctive mood, like in haya trabajado, past perfect in the subjunctive, and hubiera, hubiese trabajado, pluperfect subjunctive. We are going to study these tenses in a second course. We will now see some changes that irregular verbs undergo in the present subjunctive. In the present indicative, we have some verbs that are irregular because they have he in the first person, singular. As for example, decir. The first person singular is digo. In the present subjunctive, we will find this irregularity in all persons of the verbal conjugation. Diga, digas, diga, digamos, digáis, digan. Other common verbs with this irregularity are tener, venir, hacer, salir, poner, traer, oír. In the present indicative, we have verbs that are irregular because they have a vowel change in the root. This can be from E to IE as empezar, empiezo, from O to UE like in poder, puedo, and from U to UE like in jugar, juego. Jugar is the only verb in that group. In the present subjunctive, the vowel change occurs in the same persons as in the present indicative. First, second, and third person singular, and third person plural. The forms for nosotros and vosotros have no change. Cierre, cierres, cierre, cerremos, cerréis, cierren. Other verbs in this group are poder, empezar, volver, jugar, sentir, volar, querer. Now I will explain a very important detail. In the present indicative, we have verbs that change from E to I like pedir, vestir, medir, seguir, servir. As you see in the table, in the present indicative, these verbs have the vowel change in the first three persons of the singular and in the third person of the plural. But in the present subjunctive, they have the change in all persons of the verbal conjugation. The verbs that change from E to I are irregular in all persons in the present subjunctive. Let's see now another group of irregular verbs. They are the ones that end in o ser, usir, and ser, like traducir. In the present indicative, only the first person singular is irregular, traduzco. While in the present subjunctive, the irregularity affects all persons of the verbal conjugation. traduzca, traduzcas, traduzca, traduzcamos, traduzcáis, traduzcan. Other verbs in this group are producir, conducir, obedecer, amanecer, ofrecer, crecer. Now we are going to explain some irregularities that are explained by the pronunciation rules of Spanish. I recommend you watch the pronunciation videos on our YouTube channel. As we know, the combinations CA, CO, CU sound K. The combinations CE and CI sounds S. The sounds K and Ki are written with Q. Q in Spanish only exists in combination with U and E and U and I. Everything that sounds K and Ki will always be written with QUE and QUI. That is why in the present subjunctive, the verbs that end in car have to be conjugated with QUE in the ending. Since if we wrote se, it would sound buse instead of busque. Busque, busques, busque, busquemos, busquéis, busquen. The verbs with this irregularity are many. For example, empacar, sacar, tocar, secar, pecar, etc. In these verbs, we have the following irregularity. As you already know, the combination of he with a, o, and u sounds g. He with e and I sounds he, he. The combination he-u-e and he-u-i sounds ge and gi. If we want to pronounce gue and gui, we have to write 2 points on the u as in the word pingüino. This explains that the verb entregar and all those ending in gar are written with he-u-e in the present subjunctive. If the u were missing, it would be pronounced entregue instead of entregue. Entregue, entregues, entregue, entreguemos, entreguéis, entreguen. Recoger. It has to be written with J, because if it were written with G, it would be pronounced recoga, according to the pronunciation rules of Spanish. Because the combination G and A sounds ga. So, the verbs ending in GER are written with J in the present subjunctive. Recoja, recojas, recoja, recojamos, recojáis, recojan. The verbs ending in zar, Z-A-R, are written with se in the present subjunctive, since the combination ZE and ZE is rare in Spanish. It will change from Z to se and never to ese. Organice, organices, organice, organicemos, organicéis, organicen. Another irregularity occurs in verbs that end in uir, like construir. In Spanish, when I is between two vowels, it becomes Y. Construya, construyas, construya, construyamos, construyáis, construyan. Other verbs in this group are, for example, huir, destruir, obstruir. As you can see, the pronunciation is very important and explains many irregularities of the verbs in different tenses. We at our school explain the pronunciation in detail in the first class, so that our students read and write correctly from day one. I recommend you check our pronunciation videos in which you will find explanations with examples. Now we are going to do some exercises to practice what has been explained here. We have some sentences that we must complete with the appropriate form of the present subjunctive. Verbs are irregular. Tal vez Tal vez busquemos en internet el hotel para nuestras vacaciones. Remember that que is written with QUE. If we write CE, it will sound like busemos instead of busquemos. Posiblemente el profesor entregue los trabajos corregidos esta semana. It is written GUE, so that it sounds ge. If the U is missing, it sounds entregue instead of entregue. Quizás mi hijo llegue mañana en la tarde. If we do not write the U, it would sound llegue. Posiblemente la función de teatro la función de teatro empiece unos minutos más tarde. ZE and ZE are rare in Spanish. We write CE. Tal vez el autor traduzca sus obras al ruso. Verbs ending in usir o ser and eser are irregular in all verbal persons in the present subjunctive and have ZC in the conjugation. Quizás nosotros pidamos una pizza el viernes. Verbs that change from E to E are irregular in all persons. Posiblemente aquí construyan un nuevo centro comercial. When E is between two vowels, it becomes Y. Muy bien. I think we have explained the most important regarding irregular verbs. Now there is only practice. Students who follow our online mini course now can do their exercises. We invite you to visit our website to learn more about our school and our courses. In the next video, we will continue with more information about the subjunctive. Hasta pronto en un próximo video.